We are back with a brand new video. What is good, Heat Nation? In today's video, we're going to be talking about a rumor that has been surfacing for a couple of days now. So hopefully y'all sit tight till the end of the video. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Go check out my second channel, man. I just dropped a video, I think just now, about a mock draft for the 2023 NBA draft. I also dropped like NBA related content as well. So if y'all are interested in that type of content and those type of videos, hit the link in the description and go check out my Twitter as well, which will also be in the description. Let's get right into it. So we're going to be talking about Saddiq Bey. Saddiq Bey is someone that has been linked with the Heat for a couple of days now, and I think I do have to address this rumor because you know, we gotta talk about whether it's a good idea for the Heat to trade for Saddiq Bey or not. So the news is as follows: the Pistons are open to moving forward Saddiq Bey, who they just drafted in the 2020 NBA draft a couple of years ago. Saddiq Bey is, like I said, he's a very young player. I think he's only about 23 years old. So he's not like a extremely young player, but he's still like a young player, you know. But he's not really having a great season this year. He's only shooting about 30% from the three-point line. And you know, because of that, Detroit is open to moving him for, and apparently this is from Jake Fisher, the asking price. And Jake Fisher's obviously Bleacher Report. The asking price for Saddiq Bey is just an unprotected first-round pick. So, yeah, Saddiq Bey is a guy that the Heat apparently have interest in. A lot of Miami sources have confirmed this, and you know, it's a question whether or not the Heat should trade for Saddiq Bey. Saddiq Bey last night only played 18 minutes. He's kind of falling out of the depth chart. I think he lost his starting spot. Like, you know, we're gonna be talking about whether this is a good idea for the Heat or not. I personally think it is. You know, I actually think it is. You know, the Heat are coming off of 2 wins, a really close game. Actually, 2 pretty close games, to be honest. Like, the win against Indiana was pretty close, but OKC literally came down to the last shot. And those were 2 huge wins. Obviously, they were on the road. Last night we were without Jimmy. But you can still see there's still some weaknesses in this team, and I think that right now, Saddiq Bey, you know, if the asking price is just a first-round pick, then I'd be down to do it. You know, it's like a first-round pick. Saddiq Bey is worth a first-round pick. He's only 23 years old. He still has a lot of potential. I think he can be one of the best 3-and-D players in this league, to be honest, man. I think he has that type of potential. And like, I'm not gonna lie, Saddiq Bey was one of my favorite players coming out of Villanova when he went to college. Like, he was actually someone that I actually wanted the Heat to draft, but I think he got taken right before at pick 19 or something. But yeah, I love Saddiq Bey's game, and I just think that Saddiq Bey is, you know, he is having a down year, but I think that the Heat can definitely, you know, I think the only reason a lot of people think he's having a down year is because the shooting percentages are bad, which is true, but you know, those can change, you know, when he's in a different situation. Maybe he's happier with a different team. Like, shooting percentages change, they fluctuate a lot for some players, but you know, there's the beauty of shooting percentages is that, you know, if someone has a down year as far as shooting percentages are concerned, or if they're having a shooting slump, that can easily be fixed. It's not something that you have to like spend too much time trying to, you know, develop something. Like, it's all muscle memory. It's just, he's just been off like that. That's something that you can fix very easily, like, especially with like a change of scenery and stuff like that. I don't really have any concerns about that. He's definitely a good shooter, despite what the percentages say. Like, definitely, you know, coming out of college, he's one of the best shooters in the class. So I think that like, that's not really a concern to me, to be honest. Like, just because like I know that he's a good shooter, and like, just because like a percentage says he's only shooting 30%, that doesn't really mean much to me. But I just think that, to be honest, like, he would be a really good floor option for us. He's 6'7", 215, so he has some size. Defensively, like, I don't think he's as good as Caleb, but he's definitely like not a bad defender by any means. And I think that you know, he definitely brings more offensively than Caleb. Like, and it's gonna be interesting because a lot of people will be like, yo, like, Caleb shooting 40% from 3, and Saddiq's only shooting 30. Like, why do you think he's an upgrade? The reason is, I just don't think percentages define anything, and I think that Saddiq Bey is a better shooter than Caleb Martin, despite what percentages say this season. If you look at, you know, like, their full body of work, Saddiq Bey since college has always been a really good shooter. Caleb Martin, you know, I just see Caleb Martin more as a slasher than a shooter. Despite what percentages say, like, yeah, he's shooting 40%. Cool. Like, he's having a good shooting season. I'm not saying Caleb Martin's having a bad season. But I just think Saddiq Bey is an upgrade offensively. Not just shooting, but also, you know, just being a better offensive player. He has very good, you know, offensive skill. And I think that can definitely help us offensively. You know, I think we struggle offensively. That's no secret. Half-court offense has been an issue for us for about 3 years now. Saddiq Bey can definitely help that. Another player that has been linked with the Heat is Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish is also someone that the Knicks are trying to move. Now, I think the Cam Reddish asking price might be even less than Saddiq Bey's. It might just be like a second or something like that. Like, I don't think Cam Reddish's asking price is anything major. And, you know, I would be good with either one of these players. Who would I want more? Probably Saddiq Bey, just because he feels more of a position of need. Cam Reddish, I just cannot see playing the 4. Like, there's no way I see Cam Reddish playing the 4. Saddiq Bey, I think, can play the 4. He's not a 4, but as far as who can play the 4, like, who has more potential to be a 4, I would probably go with Saddiq Bey. But, like, I would be ecstatic with either of those guys on the Heat, to be honest, just because, like, you wouldn't have to give up anything. Like, we wouldn't have to give up anything of value. So, yeah, I would love Saddiq Bey on the Heat. I would love Cam Reddish on the Heat. A lot of people want Bogdanovic. I just don't see Bogdanovic getting moved. Apparently the Pistons like really like him. They want to keep him. The Heat are interested in Bogdanovic. Like that is something that has come out, and like obviously like since he torched us, like they're gonna be interested for sure. I just don't see it happening. I just don't see the Jazz, like, I mean, not the Jazz, the Pistons wanting to trade him anytime soon. They just extended him. Like, I think they're gonna keep him for a little bit. Like, maybe they trade him just because he doesn't fit the timeline, but like he's still a very good veteran presence on that team, and like from everything that I've read, like they really like him and they want to keep him. So I don't think Bogdanovic is gonna happen. Saddiq Bey and Cam Reddish are two guys who are already on the market. John Collins, we've already talked about on the channel like 10 times. He's been on the trade block for like, seems like 3 years now. He's another name on the market. Kyle Kuzma, I think the Wizards are gonna have to do something with Kuzma, or like with anybody, just because like the Wizards are just in a very weird situation right now, and I think they would probably want to sell high on Kuz. As far as other options are concerned, the Hornets could probably be open to trading PJ Washington, just because, you know, he hasn't really gotten like extreme amount of minutes this season. The Jazz, maybe, you know, Kelly Olynyk deal, but I doubt the Heat would bring Kelly back. I don't see the Jazz trading Markkanen. I think Markkanen is probably going to be there for the rest of the season. And then Jared Vanderbilt, same thing. Jared Vanderbilt's a younger player, so I think they would probably keep Jared Vanderbilt. Harrison Barnes, if the Kings want to like continue making a playoff push, I doubt they're going to trade Harrison Barnes. So I don't think that's a realistic option. And then there's some other guys out there like far-fetched options like Julius Randle. Like Julius Randle, like I doubt the Heat are going to even try to like touch, just because like Julius Randle's a very interesting player. Like he's a very talented player, obviously. Like he's been hooping, but like I just don't know about the fit in Miami. But yeah, I think we would like, if we're being realistic here, we don't really have like a ton of options. We probably have like maybe 3 or 4 at most. And that's currently we probably have, obviously Jay Crowder is available. But like apparently the Suns want Oladipo for Crowder. Like nah, we're good. We're good. We'll keep Depot. After last night, shout out to Depot. Depot clamped last night. Oladipo is, I don't think we should trade him anywhere. But yeah, Saddiq Bey, obviously Jay Crowder, Cam Reddish, John Collins. Those 4 are like realistic. Like those are the 4 players that are on the block, like confirmed. Like all those teams are shopping those players. Kuzma's a maybe. Like I don't like remember that I saw anything about the Wizards shopping Kuzma. I know that teams were interested. I just don't know if the Wizards were like wanting to trade him. But they might want to, just because he's been like playing well. They might want to sell high, like while his value is high. Jakob Poeltl, another player, like he's not a 4, but he's a 5. If the Heat, because I know the Heat are interested in Poeltl, and they have had interest in Poeltl, but I don't know if like he's like obviously the best option because he's not like a floor spacer. But yeah, those 4 options, I think it's between those 4 right now. What I think will happen, I think the Heat are just going to try to survive until the deadline. I think the deadline is when they're going to see a lot of trades happen. They'll definitely make a move in the deadline. You know, there's no way they're going to keep this roster the same throughout the whole season. A move is going to be made, I just don't think it's going to be made right now. I think they're going to stick with it. Depending on how this road trip goes, like, you know, we've won 2 straight. I don't think they're going to try to make any changes right now. I will say one player, like, for me that is, like, I don't want to say on the hot seat, but like that I'm kind of falling out of favor with is Max Strus. Just because, like, I don't know, like, I know that we're going to have to pay him in the offseason, and it's going to be like Duncan type money, and like, I'm good. Like, I think we should have learned our lesson by now, paying these guys all this money. Like Max Strus is a very good shooter, but like, I think shooters are very replaceable in this league, and you can probably just find one. Like it's very easy to find it. Like, I'm not discounting what Max Strus or Duncan Robinson did for this team in their primes, but like, I think shooting is very replaceable, especially like in the draft and undrafted players. Like, you can find, like, the Heat can definitely find another guy who can replace Strus and Robinson. Like Matt Ryan, if he just didn't get picked up by the Timberwolves, he would have been a pickup that the Heat probably could have gotten. Like, there's a lot of these players out there who can shoot the ball. So I don't think that, you know, like losing Max Strus is anything that we have to like cry about. Like, I just don't really like the way he's been playing recently, which is why, like, I'm getting more and more open to like looking at trade packages that include him, just because, like, I also don't want to pay him in the offseason. And also because I just don't think the Heat have like any other assets. Like, Duncan Robinson, his contract is already terrible. And, you know, apart from like D-Rob, like, who do we have to trade? Dedmon, like, I don't really know if teams are excited to have him. Gabe Vincent, Strus, like, we're not giving up. I don't think we're trading Jovic. I don't think we're trading Yurtseven. I don't think we're trading Caleb. I don't think we're trading Depot. And I don't think we're trading the big four. I don't think Lowry, Jimmy, Kyle, or Bam is going anywhere. So it's kind of between like Duncan, Max, Gabe, and Dwayne Dedmon. Like, those 4 plus whatever draft capital we have is probably like a combination of those 4, of any of those 4 plus draft capital is probably what's gonna, you know, be the package for any trade that we do. And that's why I just included Max Strus in there, just because I wasn't going to include him like maybe 2 weeks ago, but right now, like, after thinking about it more and seeing the way he's been playing recently, like, I'm not a fan of, I just don't want to pay him in the offseason, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that's a whole different story. To close the video talking about Saddiq Bey, I would love Saddiq Bey on the Heat, especially if like the price is only an unprotected first. Like, sure, send it in, just because, like, the thing about Saddiq is that you're basically getting a first-round pick from a couple years ago, you know, and I think that I still believe in Saddiq Bey, bro. A lot of people might be turned off because of the 3-point percentage and the field goal percentage, but like, I still think that he has a lot of potential, especially as a 3-and-D player in this league, and he can definitely fill that 4 spot for us if need be. So Saddiq Bey, Cam Reddish, Kyle Kuzma, John Collins, I'm good with all of them. Jay Crowder, respectfully, I'm probably going to pass on that, just because of what the Suns want. If it was Max Strus for Jay Crowder, I would potentially consider it, but I still probably wouldn't do it, because Jay Crowder, like, I don't think is taking us anywhere. We've already seen, you know, Jay Crowder, like, on this team. Like, he's definitely, like, he was a big reason why we went to the finals, but he's very streaky. He's not, you know, like, a consistent player by any means, and I just don't think he's a defensive stopper that a lot of people try to make him out to be. But the other 3, like Kuzma, yeah, I would love Kuzma on the team. Same with John Collins, same with Saddiq. Obviously, Cam Reddish is out there, like, but yeah, Saddiq Bey, would love him on the Heat. Hopefully the Heat know what they're doing, and we're gonna wrap it up there, man. Let me know down in the comment section below your thoughts. I'll see y'all later as always, man. Have a nice day. Peace.